Hey guys, welcome to AFC Game by Game tonight. I'm joined by the one and only Connor, aka Tick Attacker Wilsh. I'm sure a load of you are following him on Twitter. If you're not, make sure you sort that out ASAP. What can I say? You finally got what you wanted. I'm in my dressing gown, and we've got a lot to talk about tonight. So, Connor, first and foremost, you were out there in Barcelona to watch us not get destroyed by Barcelona, but all round a fairly solid performance. What do you make of that trip out there?
So it's enjoyable, to be honest. I know we went out there like 2-0 down, but I was never hopeful of getting a victory. I just want to see a decent performance out of us. I mean, the first game, I don't think we was as bad as the scoreline made out at all. Like 2-0 was a bit harshness because we held on very well. But if we could take our chances in the first place, we might have had a chance. I know we lost 3-1, but we lost 3-1 to a world class team, and their strike force. If we had that, like it's just amazing. Like when Messi scored the third, I was just applauding him. I couldn't believe it. But
No, I couldn't believe that goal. It was such a kind of tired goal for us to concede. I think just the way he walks for our back line, just popped it over our spinner. It was such a lackadaisical goal for us to concede. But all round, I mean, must have been a decent away trip. I mean, I'd have loved to have been out there just to soak in the atmosphere. And all round, it was a solid team performance, which inevitably, heading into this game on Saturday, we took a lot of positives from. I mean, we saw a lot of things change in the Arsenal squad. We saw El Nene and Coughlin start in the midfield. They looked really solid. We saw Alex Iwobi get another start. I mean, what did you make of the 2-0 win away from home at Goodison?
Amazing, to be honest. Like I haven't seen us play that well in so long, since Man United, the 3-0. We haven't played well for a very long time. Like the last time I thought we played well was the Man United game. I don't think we've played like how we should be playing ever since then. And like the Welbeck goal just summed up though I'm not Wenger's biggest fan, as everyone would probably know, but like that summed up what Wenger's all about, the way he plays football. And it was just perfect. It was just so nice to see, and we didn't go and flop it straight away either. Like solid performance, like kept the clean sheet, couple of dodgy moments from Gabriel, but apart from that, it was a pretty much amazing performance, despite obviously Everton being pretty poor anyway. But I was so happy with it, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I mean, everything seemed to go right for us. And like you say, it was the first time we've actually put in a performance that I think any Arsenal fan has actually properly sat down and enjoyed, apart from, United at home and Olympiacos away earlier on in the season before Christmas. So pretty much for the whole of 2016, we haven't been enjoying ourselves too much. But, I mean, why haven't we played like that against Swansea at home, United away, teams we should have beaten? And like you say, that's a style of football that we saw on Saturday that we are meant to be playing. Why couldn't we play like that in the games that we should have won?
You got to ask Arsene Wenger that, innit? Like, I don't know why. It upsets me, to be honest, to talk about it, because we should be winning. We should have won this league by now, to be honest. This was the season, and it's so disappointing because when we go and put performance like that against Everton, you just think like, why couldn't we do that before? Why couldn't we do it in this game? Why couldn't we do it in this game? Don't get me wrong, like everyone's a good team in the Premier League, but like I think we are the best team in the league, but we clearly aren't, because what's happened, we've got the individuals to do it, which is sad. It's sometimes I don't believe the tactics we set up are the best because we're really predictable.
Do you think it comes down to maybe a mentality problem? Because obviously, people were saying when we lost to United, when we lost to Swansea, we didn't have the bottle to go on and win this Premier League title, which I can fully and wholeheartedly agree with. But the only thing is, people were saying the pressure was off heading into Goodison. But the thing is, I don't think it was, because that was a must-win game. If we'd have lost that, I mean, it would have been utter capitulation for us. The thing is, we've responded after a really bad run of results. You've got to say, why have we responded so late on in the season with just 8 games to go? But do you think it was a case of there being, a little less pressure on us?
No, not really, because at the end of the day, it's Arsenal. You got every game's a must-win, whatever it is. And Goodison Park's really traditionally for us, it's quite a hard game, like place to go to. To get 3 points is so impressive, to be honest. But like, I don't say about that, to be honest. Like, I'm just happy we got 3 points. Like,
yeah, I'm more than happy with it. And you say that Goodison Park in the past has been a difficult place to go to. I mean, thank the Lord that they haven't got Stephen Naismith still, because he had a bag about 6 passes yesterday. I mean, I thought Everton, as good as we were, they left us so much space. And I don't think we should be reacting too overly positively to this result, because don't get me wrong, I think there's so many positives to take from it. But at the same time, Everton were so poor. I mean, what do you put that down to? They've just come into this game on the back of a 2-0 win against Chelsea. They should, I mean, maybe edging it for favourites in this game to win it, given the way we've been playing. I mean, why do you think they were so poor in this match? Did we nullify them, or was it just a case of them being low on confidence?
I don't think there was low on confidence. Like as you said, to beat Chelsea 2-0. Chelsea aren't a bad team at all. I know what's happened this season, but like, I still think they're one of the best teams in the league. I think you could say it's an FA Cup hangover. You never know. Like it's quite possible, but I don't think Everton are a bad team, and I would love to sign their striker. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's a machine, but he wasn't too good against us. But like Gabriel and Koscielny had a really good, solid game against him, which I was quite impressed by.
Yeah, you look at that back line, you look at Gabriel, you look at Koscielny, Monreal, and Bellerin, and a lot of people were screaming out for that back four earlier on in the season, and we've seen it now. We've seen at times Gabriel's been a little bit rusty. Do you think maybe Gabriel is the real deal in this Arsenal defence, or do you think we need to invest in someone like a Mats Hummels out there in the summer?
I think he's the real deal, but I don't think Mertesacker's good enough anymore to be, should we say, a regular. Like he's a good leader for the squad, but like I don't think he's good enough to start for us anymore. But Gabriel, I think he's good enough to start. Should I say? I don't know. He's good enough when Koscielny isn't there. I think they both need a more physical partner, like Mertesacker. Mats Hummels, like you said, is a good alternative. But I don't think him and Koscielny, because they're exactly the same type of defender. They're quick. They're not the most dominant defender. Like they're not like, I don't know who you can say, like Boateng, for example. Jerome Boateng, he's quite powerful. I don't think Koscielny or Gabriel are like that. They're quick on their feet. Then if they always try and nick the ball beforehand, like sometimes it costs us. But like we certainly do need another centre half and a proper leader. Like I've heard something about Company being put up for sale apparently by Man City. And
I wouldn't fancy him, to be honest.
You didn't fancy him?
No, I mean, given the way like he's so injured, I mean, he just fits into our fold a bit too perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first season I saw a stat the other day. It's the first season he hadn't completed like 20 games for City and since he joined them, which is a bit like I don't know, 25 million for him if it ever come about. I think it's definitely worth a shout. He's a proper leader as well. He's an experienced winner.
Yeah, the thing is though, first of all, I think that transfer is so unrealistic as well. But I mean, I'd be more inclined to go for a Hummels, but I say Hummels, but he's almost as injury prone as Company is when you look at it in the bigger picture. I mean, it really is hard to pinpoint a strong centre half that's going to like line up alongside Koscielny on a regular basis, because there aren't actually a lot of them out there. We're looking at all these players that we need, and there are very few names out there that we can go and invest in. But you would hope come the summer, we do bring in these players. One player that we've recently bought in, Mohamed El Nene, lined up alongside Francis Coquelin yesterday, and I thought he was superb. What did you make of that Coquelin El Nene pivot?
The amount of balance that brings to our midfield makes us look like such a better team all round. Like, don't get me wrong, Ramsey's good, but he offers a goal for it, obviously. But so does El Nene now. You can tell, obviously, what he did against Barcelona. Even like, was it Watford we played a couple of weeks ago? He was still banging the shots in then. Like Ramsey, when he plays, like he doesn't think about the team. He thinks about one thing and himself, trying to score. That's what I find anyway. And it hurts us a lot. El Neni wants to play football and he wants to help his teammates out. And Coquelin, half the time, he's doing the work all of himself. Like when Ramsey was playing next to him in that pivot, El Neni with him, it helps him out a lot. And he's at the 90th minute against Everton, and he was sprinting after their centre half trying to get the ball back. It's like work rate's unreal.
I think there's a lot to love about it. And you've got to remember with Coquelin alongside him, who, as you say, does the dirty work. I think he made the most interceptions yesterday of a Premier League player in the past 3 years. So that just shows how pivotal Coquelin is to this Arsenal side. But having El Nene alongside him, someone that's safe, someone that's box to box, will do the simple stuff and do it very well, in fairness to him. When he does come into his own, you've got to remember he's only 23 as well. So the best years of El Nene's career are ahead of him, you would assume. And he does look like a very valuable asset to this squad. And to be honest with you, I really do struggle to see Aaron Ramsey getting back that midfield position unless he really bucks up his ideas. And you got to remember we've got Cazorla coming back. Let's talk about Jack Wilshere for a second, because obviously you're a big advocate of him. It's been said that he's 3 to 4 weeks away. We've been told that for the past 8 months. Or saying that's what it feels like. Do you think that, you know, when he does come back at this stage in the season, when there's so few games to go, do you think he can, you know, play a part in what could be a late title surge?
I don't know, because I don't think he's going to get many starts at the moment. Like when he does come back, because we're not going to have that many games left. We're only in the league now. What's that? 8 games left or something?
Yeah.
8, 9 games left, and he's probably more thinking about the European Championships at the moment. He loves playing for England so much, and I think he's more concentrated on that at the moment, like than Arsenal. Because at the end of the day, we're not in a good position in the league. Like we're there, but we're not. I don't. I think we're. I believe it's over. To be honest, like
I'd be inclined to agree with you, mate. On that topic of Jack Wilshere as well, and you say he's focusing his attentions to the Euros. I mean, this theory's been floating around, been bouncing off the walls a little bit, that he's actually been near to full fitness for, you know, a number of weeks now, and the club are wrapping him up in cotton wool. Wenger's had a discussion with Roy Hodgson that they're not going to risk him at this stage in the season when we've got not a lot to play for, and they're just going to keep him safe for the Euros. I mean, is that something that potentially you could buy into?
Yeah, because we tend to rush a lot of our players back, and it hurts us. I would rather not rush Jack back. I know, like he got injured at the start of the season, like the day before Gabriel injured him, before the Community Shield, and that was pretty much his season over, which is a pity because he's only young. He's 23. I believe he's probably
he's
our best
24 now.
24.
Yeah, 24 in January.
Yeah, see that time's flying. It feels like he's been here forever. Like it's so disappointing because he's such a good player. Well, on his day, and it's not like he can only play one position. He can play anywhere in the midfield. He can even play on the wing, which I don't like. But like, I think
yeah, but he still does a job out there. Remember his goal against Marseille?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I think his best position is probably deep, like where he plays at England. He's amazing there. Almost like when Liverpool won the league. No, didn't win the league. Sorry, they almost won the league. Yeah. Gerrard played obviously that holding role. He isn't the greatest tackler in the world, Gerrard, but he can ping a ball. Jack's like that player, almost like the Pirlo sort of player. So I think like because he hasn't had a chance to play with Coquelin since Coquelin's come back, should we say, to Arsenal like a proper player. I'd love to see them two put together because everyone was calling before like let's put Ramsey and Coquelin together, see how that goes because Cazorla wasn't like in the best of form. But Jack, when he does come back, I wouldn't like to see him rush back at all. I think it's worth waiting because there's not much to play for this season for us. Just more getting minutes under his belt, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. And you know, the thing that saddens me is I think he, like, on his day, which is almost every time he plays, he is considerably one of our best midfielders in terms of technical ability, along with Santi Cazorla. And I'd go as far as saying that he is somewhat better than Cazorla when he's fully fit and got a run of games under his belt. And it does excite me, the thought of having him and Coquelin in a midfield pivot, because you look at them two, I think they're both 24 years old. They both played in the FA youth team together. I think those were the two that were the midfield pivot when Arsenal won the FA Youth Cup. I mean, it is an exciting pivot that we've got there, which could potentially flourish. But then on the flip side, you look at the other options we've got to play in that midfield role alongside Francis Coquelin. We've got El Nene now. We've got Aaron Ramsey, who I don't think he's going to get back in this squad anytime soon. You've got Cazorla, and you've got Jack Wilshere when he ultimately returns. And you've got players like Adelaide coming through the youth ranks as well. So I think we're in a very nourished position in that sense. But, I mean, God, we could have done with these players earlier on this season. Do you think that maybe with the loss of Santi Cazorla, that's kind of where
that was a massive one for us, to be honest. He has the ability to hold on to the ball. When you watch Arsenal before Belneny sort of like come into the picture, like recently, when it was the Ramsey Coquelin thing together, you'll find if you watch him, Koscielny found himself bringing the ball out himself and playing it straight into Giroud or someone, or Alexis on the wing. I didn't like that because all he used to just take it from them and do it himself. It was so much better to getting us on the move, and just Koscielny's having to do a lot of it himself, and like the centre halves. And you watched Gabriel the other night against Barcelona. He tried dribbling it out of defence, but like I don't know what he was thinking then. But apart from that, like I don't like it when our centre backs have to do that sort of thing. It's not their job.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you think that maybe I forgot what I was going to say, actually. I had a really good point lined up, but it's gone straight out of my head. I mean, I did have something good to say, but I can't think about it. Anyway, we'll move on back to the... no, I've got it. Players like Giroud and Walcott, you know, they've been in and around our starting 11 for the best part of the season. And I don't think it's any coincidence that we were playing poorly when that lot were in the 11 against the likes of Swansea. Giroud didn't actually play against United, but Theo Walcott did out on that right-hand side. And do you think the reason that we have been underperforming is because we've been persistent with those players too much? I mean, the way we played against Everton, the fluid, free-flowing, exciting football that we haven't seen in months came back, and it was rejuvenated in this Arsenal side. With Walcott, he's running down into blind alleys. He never touches the ball. Olivier Giroud is very, very stagnant, barely makes any runs. Do you think that with this change-up that we've got on the Arsenal side, don't know how long it will last, how long we'll be able to play this style of football, but do you think a big part of the way we played against Everton is because we've left the likes of Ramsey, Giroud, Walcott out of the Arsenal setup?
Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, you've got players coming through like Alex Iwobi. He's Arsenal through and through, proper. And like obviously, you're missing players like Jack. These players, like Coquelin's another one who's obviously proper Arsenal. And when you've got players of proper Arsenal, they know what it's like to play for us, and they want to give everything. Like with players like Giroud, so say Walcott, they're on all this money. So like everyone says, all they care. They don't just care about money, of course they don't. But like it is a factor. Like Iwobi, I think he's on less than £1,000 a week. Walcott on 130 grand a week, and Walcott sat on the bench, didn't even get on, and Iwobi's having time of his life getting man of the match. It just puts it into perspective that who wants to be playing for us and who wants to be earning buckets of cash. And it's quite clear to us, if you want to be playing football, like perform. Like Walcott doesn't look arse. I love Theo Walcott. Like, I'm one of his biggest fans, but I'm finding it hard to like back him at the moment because how poor he's been playing. Like apart from the goal against Leicester and the goal against City, what has he done this season? It's like, and obviously he played quite well against Man United as well, the home win. But apart from that, I don't think he's done much. Giroud as well, he's a pain because he doesn't do it consistently enough. He went on that long spell. He got 2 gifted goals against Hull, which he took well, but I don't think he scores enough of his chances. And it just goes back to that thing everyone says, oh, we need a world-class striker. And we do need a world-class striker. We'd have won that game at the Nou Camp if we had a world-class striker. That's not Danny Welbeck's fault, but like if we took our chances, we'd have won that game. The same goes for the first leg as well. Might sound biased, but I truly believe that's the case.
No, it's true. The amount of chances we had. I mean, watching that game against Barcelona last week, I mean, we created more chances than them, to be honest.
We did actually create more chances. We had more shots. We had 18, they had 17.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And how many of them were off target as well? It just shows that if we had someone proper that could put it between the sticks, and that's not to slate Danny Welbeck in any way. He has been magnificent since he's come back. And it's an interesting topic, I think, with Welbeck because he's 25 years old, I believe. He scored 4 goals in I think 8 appearances. That's a mix of starting and off the bench. He's kind of coming into his own now. Do you think he could be that outlet heading into next season?
I'd like when Man United used to win the league every bloody year, back when Fergie said you need 4 strikers, 4 top strikers. Obviously, they had Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo, Berbatov, all players like this. Amazing strikers. Hernandez, another one. We don't have that. Like, we've got Giroud, decent at what he does. Welbeck, I think, is brilliant, but he's not world class. Walcott is a confidence player. You never know what you're going to get of him. And apart from that, we don't actually have any other, like, should we say, strikers? Alexis, I don't believe he's a striker either. He's a winger.
No, he's not.
No. And that's all we've got. And not one of them's world class. Welbeck's great at what he does as well. Like, Giroud's hold-up play, I don't think there's many players better in the world that does it better than him. He's brilliant at it. But like you said earlier, he's really like stagnant. Like he doesn't move a lot. Like Welbeck's great. He's a pest. We don't have a finisher. If we had someone like Aguero sat in the squad, obviously if he was fit, we'd have won the league quite easily. Like we've I think had the most chances this season. Like our conversion rate's like 18th in the league or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, saying that though, one thing I've been really impressed with about Welbeck since he's come back is his finishing has gotten a bit better. Although he missed that chance against Watford, which is really hard to forgive him for, but I will do. I mean, the way he took that first goal yesterday, so composed. Last season, I could easily have seen him fluffing that, but he took it round the keeper, so cool, so calm, slotted it behind him. I was really pleased with that, and he's done that. He scored a few goals like that a few times this season. So he's definitely a player that I think has got a lot to offer this club. And to be honest with you, I think even if we did have a world-class striker, he'd still get into this 11
You play
purely
him on the wing
because
because he's such a utility player. Well, but you can play him wherever you want. Like he'll run his socks off. Like
it's
it's great.
fantastic. And you look at the options that we've got on the right hand side, which I think is becoming a bit of a problem for us at the moment. We've resorted to playing Alexis there now, but previously it was Theo Walcott, who can't play on the wing anymore, and he can't play anywhere, to be honest. And then you've got Chamberlain, who was meant to have his breakthrough season, done nothing, and you've got Aaron Ramsey, who isn't a winger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a good option for us is to, if we were to invest in a world-class striker in the summer, which we won't, play Danny Welbeck out on the right flank, Alexis on the left, and a Benzema, for example, through the middle. We're not going to get Benzema. But, I mean, there's so much potential with this team, and I think that's what hurts the most, and the expectation going into this season. The expectation is what kills you. So much to offer this campaign. The highest points tally we can finish on now is 79, which I think is criminal.
It is. I think we finished third a few seasons ago on 86 points. Like ridiculous. Like that's like you said. Was it 79 points?
Yeah.
Like that. Like that is criminal, to be honest, because the points we've dropped against some of these teams. Like I know it's the Premier League. Everyone says the Premier League's great. The league this year is not a good league. Like the teams in it have all been poor. Everyone's beating everyone. Like. It's great, obviously, for the mutuals and stuff like that, but it's not good for when you're like a top team and you want to be winning the league at the end of the day. Things like Norwich away, we should be hammering them about 5-0. We don't do that anymore. We used to do that.
Norwich away, West Brom away.
Yeah, you slipped because of all this penalty, didn't we? It's
Even
just
a point
silly little
right
games like that. United away as well. I think that's the worst result of the season. Swansea at home, another one. We always drop points to them, to be honest, but that's Arsenal, isn't it? But,
yeah, I mean, just looking back at all these games that we should have won, it's a season that promised so much and gave so little, but that's kind of down to our own doing. There are still points to play for. There's 8 games left. Leicester are winning like every single week. They're winning in a way that Chelsea are.
I thought it was but Chelsea won the league last season in the first half of the season. Leicester have done that again. Like they've won the league. They're just playing for 1-0 wins. Get goals, sit back. They don't need to go for it. They're 11 points clear of Arsenal. What are they 5 points clear of Spurs now?
Yeah.
So
I just need to defend and keep it. And I'm pleased for him in a way, but on the other hand, I'm hating this season because we should be the ones that are up there, as well as Leicester are doing. Right, they're on 63 points or something. We should be on 80 something.
Yeah,
Leicester should still be doing well. That's the thing about this, because I don't honestly see a time coming up in the future when anytime soon with Guardiola going to City, Chelsea, United all reinvesting. Liverpool are looking good despite their slip up today. I mean, I think we're in a quite precarious position in terms of winning the title in the next decade, because I think if we don't do it now, then we're never going to.
Well, I don't think we're going to do it underneath the management where we are now. And I don't think he's just the manager. I think it's a lot more than that as well.
There's a lot more to it.
But the manager is obviously a big thing. He hasn't won it this will be 12 years if he doesn't win it this year, which is looking really unlikely.
It's criminal.
We are literally turning into Liverpool. I hate to say it, but they haven't won the league for a long time. It's looking like we ain't going to win the league for a lot longer either. We've had chances in the past, like 2008, we had a good chance of winning it.
2011 as well.
Yeah, we was in for all 4 competitions at one point in that. Then the Carling Cup final happened.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. But like Arsenal always find a way to not win it. Like we seem to get our arse in gear as soon as 4th place starts getting it.
Yeah, on a slightly cheerier note, I mean, the way this season's going, 79 points could be more than enough to win the league title. It won't be, but there's always that possibility. Do you think with 8 games to go, Tottenham have got to play United? They've got some other difficult games coming up against Liverpool, Southampton away from home. Leicester have got a difficult run in as well. We, out of the teams at the top, have got the more favourable running. I would say a lot of home games, although albeit our home form's been piss poor. I mean, do you think we are still in with a very, very small shout of winning the league?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that bit. There's like being a football fan that you want to hope, until it's impossible, you think it's possible. When Chelsea are about 15 points clear of us last season, I was still hoping that we'd come back and win it. That's just being a football fan. But like, where we are, like the games we've got, I think we've got a couple of quite hard games. We've got like West Ham away, which we're usually pretty good at, but this season you can't. History counts for nothing. Like,
Well, the way I see it, we've got 8 games left. We've got to win 7 of them, and we can draw 1.
I
But
don't
ideally,
think we can drop any points.
well, we
I think we
can't.
have to
We
win them
can't
all.
really. But if we are to drop points to anyone, West Ham away is the place where I would be reluctantly inclined to take a point. Because
City away.
you look City away now, win there without a shadow of a doubt. Look at
Joe
them today
Art's out now
against
as well.
United.
So
Yeah, I mean, well, we play City like in 2 months, so he'll probably be back by that point. But you look at them, I don't think they're even going to finish in the top 4. It's between United and West Ham for that top 4 spot, in my opinion. But they are awful. City. I mean, you look at how badly we've done, but City are just as bad, if not worse, in terms of the money they've invested, and they're not even in the title race at this point. I mean, that's pathetic for a club of, I was going to say City's stature, but financial backing that they've got. They should be a lot higher up in this league. But the argument is they've won 2 league titles whilst we've done nothing, which is a sad reality. I mean, let's look at another brighter spark from the game. Alex Iwobi,
yeah,
like a real talent. He's going to be keeping Walcott out for the rest of the season. For me, he's cemented down that place on the left-hand side of the pitch. Would you change anything up with that front 4?
no. But when you play that well, obviously, and a performance that way, like not just a result, obviously the performance is important as well. I don't think you can change it, especially like that. The back 4 you have to keep the same whatever happens, because they need to glue together. And like Gabriel, I don't know what his English is like. Him and Koscielny don't talk a lot, but everyone knows that they don't speak. They need to start speaking. And like Czech coming back as well, but I don't think Ospina's one thing.
It's been brilliant.
I think he's been absolutely unreal. Like his shot stopping ability is amazing. But like, I know he can't catch a cold, but like apart from that, I think he's a brilliant keeper. But like Iwobi, like you said, he looks so good. I'm so good. It makes me so happy to see like one thing Arsene Wenger is knownly good for is bringing like the youth through, giving everyone a chance. Like looking at like players that come from that youth system. We've got Bella in there in the first team. Jack would probably be in the first team once he obviously starting 11, should I say, if he's fit. Ramsey we've had for quite a young time. Coquelin's another one. Iwobi now. It is great to say Walcott have had since he's 16 as well. Obviously,
yeah, but he's a bit shit, isn't he?
Yeah, you could say he's a bit shit, but like he's still like one of our, should we say, icons.
So he's one of our, I think you're going to say he's one of our own in that phrase. But you talk earlier about like he's on all the money, and I kind of, sadly, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think he's very cash motivated in a way. And I hate the fact that he's held the club to ransom in the past, and now he's repaying us by playing this trash kind of football. Like, the club's evolved beyond him at this point. And it still annoys me that he thinks he merits a place in this Arsenal squad because he's simply nowhere near good enough to get in the team. Iwobi is going to keep him out for the rest of the season, probably going into the course of next season. I mean, to touch on the point of Walcott again, would you like be inclined to ship him off in the summer if someone like Liverpool came in with a bid of 20 million?
No, not for 20 million. The end of the day, when it's one thing I don't understand. People talk like a lot of fans talk about like, oh yeah, we're getting 50 million for him, we're getting 20 million for him. I'm not getting any money out of it. I'm still paying my money to go to watch the games. Like this makes no difference to me. You can get 10p for him. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. Like I'm bothered about what we bring in, and like if we took Walker out, then you got to replace him. You can't like because at the moment we have to bring a midfielder in the summer and have to bring a centre half in, and we need a striker obviously because obviously Flamini's leaving, Arteta's leaving, Rosiki's leaving, and I think Oxlade-Chamberlain's leaving as well.
What makes you think that?
I think Oxlade-Chamberlain's going. I think they want about 20 million for him.
Where do you think he's going to go?
I don't know where he's going to go. I think West Ham are interested, and maybe Liverpool are interested in, but don't.
I'd be surprised if we got rid of Ox and kept Walcott.
You say that, but Arsenal's a strange club. Apparently, we want that Mane geezer, Sadio Mane, because they're asking.
Sure I want him.
Yeah, he can't finish. Like I think he scored a couple today, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he's a very decent flair player at Southampton. But if I wanted like a first choice star Arsenal. He's not the man.
No, it wouldn't have been on my wish list either, to be honest. But like, we've got quite a few players going out, and like, got players coming back in, like Chesney back Akpom coming back.
Oh, could barely wait.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Chesney, but I'd rather keep Ospina, to be honest, as our number 2.
Yeah,
But
so did I. But
players.
Jesse's been doing really well at Roma.
Yeah, he's doing all right. There. It's not the strongest league in the world, to be honest. But then again, nor's ours.
No, it's not. I mean, English football has been diabolical this season. I mean,
Yeah.
all our English representees in the Champions League look like they're going to be out by the quarterfinal. City are in it by like kind of the skin of their teeth. Against
I think they're only in it
PSG.
because the draw they got, to be honest. Like Kiev.
Yeah,
they couldn't beat them.
They did finish top in their group, so I can't really, discredit that because well, I'm not going to say we could have finished top in our group. We had Bayern Munich, but I still think we could have like gone toe to toe with them a little bit more.
Yeah, you're right. Could have done. But then again, we did what Arsenal. A lot of the time you'll find of Arsenal when they play, you could just tell some of the mindset on the pitch. They think like we've won this game. They haven't even stepped out on the pitch. Like they go out, they think they've won the game. Like this isn't the Everton game. I'll exclude the Everton game because we didn't do that. We ran the show. We played exactly how we should have done. We knew we had a job to do. And like the same against Barcelona the other day. We had a job to do. I know we didn't get the result. We had a performance there. We showed a great account of ourselves when we played them because we didn't look bad at all. We didn't. I know we lost 5-1 on aggregate. It seems a lot better than it is. Worse, sorry. And but I don't think it was that bad. I thought we played really well against Barcelona over the 2 legs, despite obviously losing stupid amount of goals. But when Arsenal played, they think they've won the game before, a lot of time this season. They think they've won the game.
No, we're complacent. We did it against Swansea as well at home.
It's ignorant. It's really ignorant, and just like
we think we're better than we actually are, which is the most frustrating thing about this. And especially in this league, in this topsy-turvy season, we're not better than anyone. Like we're not better than Stoke the way we're playing, which is a horrible thing to say. We're better than Stoke. Don't worry about that. So let's just touch on something we spoke before we went on air. Arsene Wenger, Stan Kroenke, all that mob. What's your take on it in the summer? Do you think it's got to be a massive rehaul with the management up to the board, or do you think, because I personally don't think Wenger's going to go. Do you think we just need to change the board up a little bit?
Well, the thing is, I heard someone say the other day, like, I'd like to see the board go, and then obviously everyone would like to see the board go because they are vile. They are no good for us. But like, I've heard someone say the other day, oh, right, give Wenger some money, see what he does with it, and on the last year's contract, he does. But like, I'd love to do that. Like, Wenger's like a legend, obviously, for the club. What he's done is great, but like, he had that chance last summer. I don't think he deserves another chance after what's happened this season. Leicester City are going to win the league. They almost got relegated last season. Like, I don't think we can run that risk again of letting him go and do that again. Because at the end of the day, we waited to sign another holding midfield until January. We might have been a different story if we'd have got him a little bit earlier. Like, and he waited to play him as well. I don't understand. Like, why sign a player if he's not ready to play for us?
Yeah, I remember we were playing Flamini and that ahead of him before.
I can't believe he started. But like, I just don't think I can trust Wenger anymore with transfers. He's so stubborn. Like, we was lucky he was refereeing a bloody, what was it? He was refereeing some charity match when we signed Danny Welbeck because he only wanted him on loan. Like, he would only been a lone player, and we're lucky we signed him on a permanent because he's one of our best players at the moment. Like,
since he's come back, so I'd say he's been our best player.
Yeah.
That's not overreacted. He genuinely has been that influential to the team. I think he's got so much to offer us, and the way he links up with Iwobi, the way he offers Ozil something different in terms of the runs he makes compared to Giroud. I mean, I think the bloke is absolute top drawer.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see Wenger obviously if he went and like showed a bit of like bottle for once and just he's a really stubborn manager. He reminds me of Pellegrini in a lot of ways, apart from the transfer because Man City have got unlimited money. Arsenal don't have unlimited money. They can afford to have a few flops. Arsenal can't afford to have a few flops. But when it comes to like the tactical side of things, like we play the same way every game. Like, we rely on our fullbacks to do everything. Like, we pass sideways Like, there's, obviously, you can pass sideways and pass back, obviously, to draw the opposition out. But we do it far too often. We don't penetrate. We don't go for it. We don't go for the throat. Like, it's so disappointing. We've got so many good players in our team, so many good individuals, and like players like Özil. I think he's actually being wasted at Arsenal. It hurts me to say it because the players around him, they're just not helping him. Like, he could be like, I think he's the best attacking midfielder in the world, but might be me being biased. But like, I don't think there's anyone better than him on his day as well. I think David Silva's. I think he's on the decline now. To be honest,
Oh, I
players
watched him
like that.
today against United. He was awful.
Yeah,
He was really
there you
poor.
go. De Bruyne, he's a pretty decent player though. I do like him. He's pretty up there with Özil at the moment. Obviously, not injured at the moment, but you know what I mean. Um, but we've got so many good individuals. It's so disappointing to see. But I'll tell you one thing I'm glad to see of Arsenal. We're playing Alexis where he came from on the right. He plays to play for Barcelona quite a lot. And he's a very predictable player because he hasn't got a left foot at all. He just cuts in, swivels. He's got terrible pass as well. It's quite frustrating to watch Alexis at times, but he's still a world-class player at the end of the day. He dragged us through last season a lot of the time. And hopefully he can buck his ideas up because a few seasons
I thought
ago,
he was class against Everton, though. To be fair to him.
yeah, I thought he was good. He played really well. The same with Barcelona. I thought he played really well the away game. Um, One thing like we did a few seasons when we beat Bayern Munich, I think it was 2-0 at the Allianz. We set ourselves up for the rest of the season. Like we went out obviously terribly. It gave us such a confidence boost to go on. I think we drew one game out of like 10, and we won the rest. We ended up finishing fourth in the end of it, or fourth or third, I can't remember. But we went on an amazing run, and I know we didn't beat Barcelona. We great performance. I think that's going to boost us onto like the confidence and go finish really strongly. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win the league, which if maybe results go away. Leicester got some hard games coming up, but like we can't just rely on that. We should be doing it ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah, the argument is on that front, and it comes from Mo of Arsenal Fan TV of all people. He says that if we were to finish this league, not win it, but win all of our next games, and Leicester do it by a couple of points ahead of us, that the manager can't be overly accountable. Do you buy into that?
No, I think he's accountable totally. Wenger's been at Arsenal 20 years. Everything goes to Wenger. He decides for what I don't know what they paint the bloody walls in the bathroom. Like he decides everything at Arsenal. Like I think he's completely accountable. Like to players as well, it's their fault as well. But I think the main cause of this is Wenger, and I used to love Wenger a lot, but I've lost a lot of respect for him to be honest. Like after what he's done to us, because he won't leave. He will not leave us.
No, I think the annoying thing is if Leicester are to win the title, for me it's kind of breaking point because there's no excuses left for him. This is the season where we had to win it. We've got the squad, we've got the resources. Should have gone and won it by a country mile, but I think he'll see it as a disappointment more than a failure, which is definitely not how the fans are going to feel about it. And I do honestly think he'll see out the last year of his contract, irrespective of what happens. And depending how well we do next season, may get a renewal, which I think would tip a lot of fans over the edge.
I
But
think a lot. I think a lot of them have already been tipped over the edge, mate. Like this with the banner and everything. Obviously, there was a banner a few years ago at West Brom. Like obviously, it came out again. There's so much on social media now. Like you see these polls and like, think, are you Wenger in, Wenger out? A majority of them are actually Wenger out now, which is quite amazing because it used to be 50-50 or more Wenger in. Everyone believes in the manager, but like this year, I think he's been found out like for what he really is. Like he used to be amazing 10 years ago. He's one of the best managers in the world. He's not one of the best managers in the world anymore. We need someone fresh. We need someone who can actually set up the team to go and beat what's in front of him. He believes we are better than anyone he puts in front of us. I genuinely believe that. Like he would. I know he didn't do it as much since Barcelona, but he would set up a team it's like he thinks we are better than Barcelona. To be honest, like we can beat
I
whatever's
think
in
he
front of
was
us.
the only
It's the
one
same.
going into that second leg that honestly thought we were the only ones capable of going through. I don't think any fan honestly thought that we were capable of beating Barcelona, but in his mind, we were still more than capable of beating Barca away from home.
See, we should have like we did the same thing in the first leg. We did every year. We panic and we lose the tie. Like bringing Flamini on, I think it was the right decision to bring a midfielder on. So I was watching it. Obviously, I was sat behind Wenger on that game, and it was the right decision to bring a midfielder on. But and then he wasn't cup tied. He wasn't even in the squad.
I didn't get
I
that.
still don't
We had
understand
Flamini
why.
on, for God's sake. That's ridiculous.
I still don't understand why to this day why he wasn't in the squad and why he wasn't brought on. Because Flamini, as much as he points and shouts like an idiot, he's a terrible footballer and he shouldn't be anywhere near Arsenal. And I'm afraid that's been the problem for us a lot of years. Like obviously every squad's gonna have a few like people you're gonna have to drag through. Like, but Arsenal shouldn't have as many as we do. The only reason why Arteta's even at Arsenal anymore because they want him to be a coach. They don't want to lose him to Man City like Vieira. And Arteta's not good enough for Arsenal anymore. He's a great leader, but that's it. Like, he can't play football anymore.
Yeah,
There's too many
I like
people in our
Arteta
squad.
as a guy. In fairness to Arteta, I will say whenever he has had the odd appearance for us this season, he's done all right. Apart from West Brom away from home where he was garbage. But apart from that, I remember he came on when we beat Leicester 5-2. Played the majority of that game. The old Flamini Arteta pivot back in full force. He was decent in that game. Came on when we beat Burnley, I think it was. And he did all right there. All his cameo spells, he's done all right, but he's by no means a player that's got any future left at Arsenal. But I would like to see him get a coaching role at the club potentially. I mean,
I think they're going to give him something as well. You're one thing I don't like about Arsenal. We're too nice. We are such a nice club.
I've had this conversation so many times. It's all well and good. All these players tweeting each other after a game. Hector Bellerin posting a picture saying, "Great win, boys! Back on the bandwagon." You know, so many players do that. So many, and I think social media is. I don't know if it's a downfall in modern day football, but we do act like a nicey club, and that channels through from that social media onto the pitch as well because we've got no leaders, we've got no ruthlessness within this team. I mean, the only one that really is like, you know, a guy that does look like he's clobber another bloke just trying to defend his teammate is Coquelin or on the.
And he isn't on Twitter. He isn't on Twitter, Coquelin. If you noticed that,
it's funny. It's funny that.
Yeah, your one thing with Arsenal, which like I was going to touch it with Arteta, the captain situation at Arsenal. It hasn't. That captain's armband hasn't meant anything at Arsenal since William Gallas cried on the pitch. Like, since he did that, the captain's armband has meant nothing to any Arsenal player. Like, our captain should not be a bit part player. Our captain shouldn't be Per Mertesacker. As much as you might like him, he isn't good enough to be our captain. Our captain should be the lead and the best player on the pitch, in my opinion. Obviously, you think like the ones who had like Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, they are proper leaders and proper captains. We need a player like that. You think like in the future, who's going to be our captain? You could say Jack, but like he's not fit. He's never fit. Like apart from that, I don't know how much.
I wanted to be Jack from anyone, to be honest. I really do.
Me too. But like, if he's going to be fit, yeah, I think he can definitely be the Arsenal captain. I think we definitely need to give it a better check in the summer. Definitely, because he's the proper leader. Then again, I don't think you need the armband to be a leader. But
but it's symbolism. Really, it shows that we're taking things seriously a little bit more. When we handed to Arteta a player that we know isn't guaranteed a place in the Arsenal starting 11, I can almost guarantee heading into next season, Mertesacker will still be at the club and we'll give him the armband when Arteta steps down. But then
you got Koscielny as well. Koscielny's a great player. He's not captain material.
He's not a captain. He doesn't talk. No.
Yeah, he doesn't speak. Like, that's what I don't understand. This is what I'm saying. When we're too nice, we gave Walcott the poxy captaincy.
Oh, mate, that was horrible.
For his birthday, whatever it was. What was it? Anniversary.
Did we lose that game?
Yeah, we lost that game.
Who was that against?
I can't remember who it was against. We definitely lost the game. Though. We didn't get the result. I can't remember.
I think it might have been against Chelsea. I think it was the 1-0 loss against Chelsea. Then we gave it again when we beat Hull 4-0.
Yeah, we gave it to Walcott when we beat Hull 4-0, definitely. But Walcott in that game was absolutely trashed the first half. But obviously,
I thought he was pretty crap the whole game, to be honest. Apart from getting 2 goals and an assist, I don't think he offered a lot.
Nah, but at the end of the day, he did the business, didn't he? Like, you can't.
He did, but it's against Hull in an FA Cup replay, a competition we're now out of. Why hasn't he done that in the proper games, in the games that matter?
Why hasn't he done that? You're completely right. Why hasn't he done it? Like, why hasn't a lot of the players done that every game though? But all the players can hold their heads in shame this season, to be honest. Apart from a couple, namely Ozil. I can't really Welbeck, when he's come back, he's done well. Petr Cech's been great. Apart
Joel
from them
Campbell's
three,
done well.
Joel Campbell's done well, but like he's been frozen out again. Like I don't. He's been unfairly treated by the manager as well. I think he hasn't done much wrong. But like
in this current front four we got, for me, he still doesn't get into it.
no, he doesn't. Joel Campbell shouldn't have even been at Arsenal, to be honest. I didn't think so, but he's proved me wrong completely. Like
He'll be gone in the summer, though. I guarantee it.
Do you think?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I don't know about that.
No, he'll want to play football, and he knows that at Arsenal he must have realised after having a full season with us that he's not guaranteed any game time with us. And I think he deserves game time. I don't want to ship him out on loan again. He deserves a club where he's actually got a future of at least 3 to 5 years, if not more. So I'd send him off to Everton would be a good example of a club that he could go to. I mean, he's got a lot to offer a mid-table club. I think he's a class player.
When we see our team, like in our squad, we have the same problem every year. We have injuries. We're never not going to get injuries whilst whatever we're doing, we're doing it wrong. We clearly aren't going to change that, so we're going to keep getting injuries. We need these sort of players who can step up when we need them. Like Joel Campbell stepped up this season, like when we needed him to do well, and he's done well. I think it'd be a bad idea selling him. Like I don't want to sell Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think he's still got a lot to offer Arsenal. He's 22 at the end of the day. Walcott, he's arguable, but Walcott, like I say, he's a confidence player. When he's confident,
I like Walcott.
He's such a dangerous player.
The thing is, he's got the ability. I don't doubt that for a minute. You watch him towards the back end of last season in the cup final as well, and you look at him at the start of this season playing as that forward. This season at the start, he really impressed me. That performance he put in against United, I'll never forget that slide tackle he made on Bastian Schweinsteiger. Absolute class, and he ran down the other end of the pitch, setting up goals left, right, and centre. Was superb as a centre forward, and his hold-up play was looking really impressive as well. He was almost evolving into what we envisaged, Thierry Henry as being. Sadly, he's nowhere near the level Henry is. It's nice to have that minor comparison of delusion in a way, but he is a player that looked like he did have something to offer us this season in the centre forward capacity. And the way he's just fallen apart, really, it's just, I don't know what to make of him. And I feel like this video has become a bit too Theo Walcott based. It's become a bit too negative. Well, at the end of the day, beating Everton 2-0. Just final words. Summarise that game against Everton. How pleased are you with the 3 points?
I was ecstatic until Leicester won later in the day, but we'll forget about that. We deserve the win, and I want to see more of that every single day until the end of the season, and then into next season, because we need to stop bucking our ideas up. We need to stop playing like tarts, to be honest, and start playing with some bollocks, because we don't do it enough. And that performance there, that's the marker now I want for the rest of the season. I want great football, and I want wins. That's all I want.
Wholeheartedly agree with you, mate. Couldn't agree more with those points. But on that note, I think we'll wrap it up there. Good win for Arsenal on Saturday. Crucial 3 points in what remains of a bit part title race. Connor, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Please do be sure to follow him on Twitter at TickerTacker. Some fantastic tweets going out there and some superb betting offers as well. So please be sure to follow him. As always, thank you for watching. Everyone that's tuned in tonight, fantastic viewing numbers as always. Please do drop a like on this video if you're not watching it live, or if you are watching it live as well. Subscribe to the channel, and from Connor and myself, speaking to you soon.